Hey everyone and welcome back. If you are new here then hello, my name is Zoe and this is my YouTube channel. Today is my 5-step routine on how to create a really glowy, really flawless, radiant, glow from within base, but which is also very long lasting as well. I think at the moment highlighter is kind of gone off trend, but everybody is asking for really radiant, glowy skin, but which looks really natural and glowy from within. So today I'm going to share how to achieve that. This is the finished base. It just looks absolutely stunning, but it's really long wearing as well. It's so easy to achieve and I think these tips will really help you out. Okay, so step number 1 is skin prep, and this is really important when it comes to any base routine, but for a nice glowy base that we want to last glowy throughout the day, a really rich, hydrating and glowing moisturiser is going to be perfect because it's going to make sure that our skin stays really nice, hydrated and fresh throughout the day, and it's not going to dry out, it's not going to cause our makeup to dry out or anything like that. So I'm going to go in with my moisturiser. I'm using the Prep and Perfect Vitamin Enriched Moisturising Primer from Primark. This is one of my all-time favourite products that I go in before I do my base makeup, and it creates such an amazing glow. I just find makeup sits really well on top of this as well, and it is very rich, it is very hydrating, and it keeps my skin nice and fresh and glowy throughout the day as well. You can see how nice and fresh and glowy that leaves my skin, and I know this is going to last throughout the day. Okay, we're already looking nice and fresh. Step number 2 is adding a illuminizer underneath your foundation, and I've got one which is my favourite at the moment. This is the Revolution Glow Drops and it's in the shade Star Dew Gold. Now you can mix things like this in with your foundation to add a little bit more glowiness, but I like to layer mine and put this underneath my foundation as well. So I'm going to give it a bit of a shake, and I'm applying this to the high points of my face where I would want to add more glowiness. To be honest, I end up spreading these all around anyway, but these kind of products are amazing to give your skin that extra glow, especially if you're doing more of like a lighter coverage and you want your skin to be as glowy as possible, and a luminizer underneath will give you that extra glow. And I find throughout the day, once my makeup all starts to wear into my skin, these really show from underneath and they just make your skin look so beautiful. And the whole goal from this type of makeup is you want to look glowing from within. I'm not going for like any glitteriness, any like streaky highlighter or anything like that. And this one in particular as well, quite blurring, and it makes your skin look so flawless. It's really, really beautiful. And you can see how much extra glowiness we have achieved with that. And once all of my makeup starts to wear into our skin throughout the day, this is going to show even more. It's going to look stunning. Step number 3 is foundation, and I'm picking a glowy foundation today because I want our skin to stay as glowy as possible. Anything which is too matte will dry down throughout the day, and more matte is designed to look more matte. It's like the opposite of glowy. So try and pick something which is maybe a bit more glowy or a bit more of a natural finish if you're a bit more oily, and that way it will stay looking a little bit more radiant throughout the day. I'm going to use one of my all-time favourite foundations. This is the Infallible Pro Glow from L'Oreal. I actually get this off Amazon because you can't get this in the UK, I don't think. I'm going to go in with a brush first and then just press it in with a sponge. Again, at this point, if you didn't want to do your illuminizer underneath, you can mix it in with your foundation. I just think all of my products blend together better if I layer them rather than mix them together first. And a little pro tip when you are doing your base makeup, you really want to make sure that you're pressing everything into your skin and letting everything settle into your skin, especially when we're doing something a little bit more glowy. We may be using a little bit more like richer products, maybe thicker products, which we don't want just sitting on top of the skin and sliding around throughout the day. We want to keep as much glow as possible, but we also want it to be long lasting, so we want to press everything together and really press it into the skin. Sometimes really glowy products can become a little bit slippery because they're not designed to like dry down on your skin or anything. So we want to make sure that they're not moving around and they're staying put throughout the day. Okay, so our base is on and you can see how nice and radiant this is looking now. I'm going to quickly do my concealer, contour and blush because there's not really much difference when it comes to them kind of products, and you see me do that all the time in my routine. So I'm going to do that really quick and then I'm going to move on to step 4 where I'm going to set it all down. Okay, so I've done my cream contour, my concealer and also my cream blush just as normal. I haven't used anything in particular that's going to add any more glow to the makeup because we are already looking pretty glowy. Now before step 4, which is setting this down, you have got the option, if you want to go in with a liquid highlighter or anything like that, I would do that now. Personally, I'm not going to because we are super glowy and I don't want to start looking shiny throughout the day. It's all about balance when it comes to a makeup like this. But for me, I think this is enough. It's very glowy and I want it to be long lasting as well. So let's set this down. This is step number 4. So when it comes to setting, there's a few goals that I want to achieve here. So number 1 is I want to keep the outer perimeter as glowy as I can, so it stays glowy throughout the day. Number 2, I don't want to be too shiny down the centre because I don't want to look oily, I want to look glowy. So this is my little setting routine that I do to keep as much glowiness as I possibly can. So first off, I set down the centre of my skin a little bit more stronger because I have done a more medium to full coverage today. I'm going to lose? I can't speak today. I'm going to use a loose translucent powder. If I'm doing a light coverage and I'm doing this exact same base but more of a sheer coverage version, I'll just use a pressed powder because that works fine for me because I'm more dry. But you may want to use a loose powder if you are a bit more oily. So this is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. It's one of my all-time favourites. You could use a brush or a sponge. I just use my sponge because I find it just melts into my skin a little bit easier that way, and I also don't like to use a big amount. I'll just use a little bit, press it in the palm of my hand, and this will be enough for me to make it last all day. Now I just do like a little sort of triangle in my under eye area, so you can see I'm not pressing over my cheek area, literally just on my under eye. So you can see it mattens this down, makes it look nice and flawless, but we've still got that glow. So I'm going to do that on the other side. Just try to be as precise as you can with this. So just a little triangle under eye. I kind of bring it down to my nose area, but you can still see here the high point, still nice and glowy, which we want. Now my chin and my forehead tend to put quite a bit there, to be fair, especially my chin area because that's the only place on my skin which will get oily throughout the day, so I can apply a little bit more to that area. Now if you are a little bit more oily but you do prefer a bit more of a glow but you still don't want your face to feel too tacky, you could also set here and here just to take a bit of the tackiness away. But because I am quite dry, we're going to be using a bronzer and we're also going to be using a blush. Now these are matte blush and matte bronzer. No, blush and bronzer. So this is an extra layer of powder that we're going to be putting on, which will help set our base as well, which is why I don't apply any extra powder around the outer perimeter. These are going to set your makeup as an extra layer of powder without going in with a setting powder first and then these, because it's just going to matten it down and your glow isn't going to wear through as much throughout the day. It's not going to maintain being super glowy. So this is how I get around setting everything but keeping the glow as well. If any of that makes sense at all, I don't know. And I'm just going to press it on. This will take the tackiness away but will also keep that glow because it is a very light amount of powder. And you can see it hasn't really taken any of that glow away. It will a little bit, but as all of this starts to wear into your skin throughout the day, and your powders work into your creams and everything kind of becomes as one. It stays really nice and glowy and radiant. A blush, you could use a glowy blush if you wanted to, which would look absolutely stunning, but I'm going to go for a matte one today, and then I'm going to show you the products that I use to add a little bit more radiance, which isn't glittery. Okay, so this is kind of our finished base. It looks absolutely stunning, and I know in about an hour or two the glow is going to be glowing. My skin's going to look amazing all day, but it's also going to be set down, it's going to be long wearing, and it's not going to move either. I'm going to move on to my final tip. So if you do like your highlighter but you don't want it to be super glittery, like streaky, sometimes they go a little bit muddy, this product is absolutely stunning. This is from Laura Mercier. I just love all their powder products. This is the Light Catcher powder in Celestial Light. Now this says it's a setting powder, but I wouldn't use it as a setting powder because it's very, very glowy, radiant. I use this on my clients and on myself as like a little bit of a highlighter. It's very much glowy from within. It's such a finely milled powder. It's not glittery. It doesn't look muddy on the skin or anything like that. It just looks absolutely stunning. I was going out and I wanted a little bit of extra pop, and this is what I do. So this is my step 5. This is kind of a bonus. Even though it's a powder, it's not glittery. It's so smooth and flawless. It just looks amazing on the skin. So a very little amount of this goes a very long way. Working. It's so light. It's really blends beautifully, and it does look so natural. Sometimes highlighters can really emphasize the texture of your skin, which is definitely what we don't want. We want to be looking flawless, whereas this almost looks like you could be wearing a liquid highlighter. It just looks that flawless and stunning. Do a little bit on my forehead. I try and go really, really lightweight with this because again it is very, very glowy. And I don't know if that is picking up on camera, but it just looks absolutely stunning. It's a really nice like final step if you do want that extra glow to your cheeks. Okay guys, so those are my 5 steps on how I achieve a really glowy, flawless, radiant but long wearing base. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and today's tips. Let me know what else you want to see down in the comments. And also let me know if you recreate this base or if you're going to use any of these tips in your routine as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy it. Let me know if you did. Give it a big thumbs up as well, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week in my next one. Bye!